Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Anybody new here?
No, we've got old timers now.
All right, well, let's see now. Well, any questions before I start? No? Okay, well, it's hot here in Nevada. Very hot, 97 degrees for us.
Oh, wow.
Earlier, yeah.
Oops.
And the whole time, every moment, I asked, who is it that's hot? Yeah, my only relief. So, all right, so this is a topic called non-duality, which is really about duality, primarily subject-objectness. Oh, wow. Hopefully, if there's a hearing of the message, you'll lose interest in the hearer of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Yeah, you lose interest in the words that end with er, and you get more interested in the words with the ing. Yeah. So hearing, cool. Hearer, yeah. Thinking, whatever. Thinker, wow. Why am I having these thoughts? Yeah. Feeler, there's another field day. Feeler, wow. I didn't want to feel that. It's amazing that people don't see that revelation. There's a feeling, and then they have a reaction. I didn't want to feel that. You would think that if you were before it and you didn't want to feel it, you may not. But because the whole story of you is after the fact, it doesn't change a fact. It doesn't change squat. It just makes it seemingly so or seemingly different, but it doesn't change a thing. Yeah, because the feeling already seemingly occurred, wanting it or not wanting it. Yeah. I'm going to vow not to see any blue jays today. Well, if my eyes are open and they wander over to the glass door, I'll probably break my vow because there'll be a seeing of blue jays. Now, I will probably have a thought. I didn't want to see a blue jay, but what does that echo? A certain powerlessness. Yes, there's a lot of things that after the fact doesn't want to do, doesn't want to feel, doesn't want to see, doesn't want to think, doesn't want to go to, doesn't want to leave, and yet it gets blown like a leaf, yeah? And all the while the leaf is getting blown, it has a story that when the leaf gets blown to the left, I turned left. When it's blown to the right, I turned right. Why did I turn right? I usually turn left. And then it just goes off. Yeah. It's just amazing. Once there's the claiming, it's like the imaginary engine starts having a lot of cars, they just keep getting attached. Yeah, so I didn't want to feel that. Why did I feel that? I shouldn't have felt that, but I felt it many times before. I'm afraid I'm going to be feeling it sooner or later. Yeah. The one claiming went off on like 9 tangents. Yeah. So those tangents go somewhere and then they break off. Yeah. And then they break off. Yeah. Not based on their own propulsion because they don't have any, based on the audience believing it. The head produces, indicates a trajectory, but we're the propulsion. Yes. But if you cut it off before it starts, yeah. So in other words, the freedom is not after you were bound. Yeah, yeah. The real freedom is before freedom and bondage. Yes, obviously. It's that thing we talk about in AA. You'll be placed in a position of neutrality. You're not free, you're not bound. You've lost interest in free and bound. Yeah. There's a lot, that's a different kind of freedom, to lose interest in being free. Yes. It's much different. It is. Because the interest in being free, if you believe you achieve freedom, you can believe you're going to lose it. Yeah. So you may have freedom, but you're not free of the anxiety concerning it. Yeah. Is that freedom, really? Do you have an idea, I'm free? Yes. Yet there's tons of anxiety that coagulates around that. That's not freedom, is it? No. Freedom is from the relief, from the need to have relief, from the need to be free, from the need to be right. All these things there's a loss of interest in. So you catch the claiming not after the fact, but before it's taken to be a fact. Yeah? Because after there's the claiming, the assumption of you is a fact to the system. Yes? It's not like you're going to become a self, you already are. It's a given. Yeah. So the story, the narrative establishes the fantasy right off the bat. It makes something that isn't so seemingly to be so. Then false evidence continues to appear real. Yeah. Just like when I had that story, I don't know if it was last week or whenever, but I saw a relative of mine when I was 9 years old dead in a casket, and I got up there, my mother brought me to it, and when I looked in, I saw that wasn't Uncle Fred. Yeah, it was obvious. Now, in hindsight, why did I believe Uncle Fred was the body? Because there was a believing that Paul was the body. Yeah. So as here, there it's projected. So I saw a mistake from a mistake. Yeah. I made a mistake from a mistake. I assumed that Uncle Fred was the body, but when I saw the body, it wasn't crushed or mangled. It looked just like it did, but there was something incredibly missing, which was animation. Yeah. That gave the life to what I called Uncle Fred. Without that, Uncle Fred was really a non-existent thing, isn't it? You could say non-existent thing, in other words, there's no things that exist, or you could see it as non-existent thing, yeah, where the animation's out of it. Either way, non-existing thing. If you believe in things, you also can see a thing not existing. Well, therefore, did the thing exist, or did something exist through the thing? So this is simple, very simple. I have faith in satsang. I have faith that you've done enough in your lives. No matter how little or how a lot, I think at any moment right now, you've done enough. You can now hear something, and that something is going to bring about an understanding that's going to make clear the misunderstandings that you've lived under. And instead of having these convoluted rationalizations of why things haven't worked out, you'll exactly see why. There'll be no argument. It will be clear you can't get out of an imaginary place. It wasn't the ropes you used or the ladder. Yeah, it wasn't. You can't escape from what you're not in. It's impossible. Yeah. These things are gonna put the end to that tributary. I mean, the water, the water of interest is gonna run out. Yeah, it's gonna dry up. Yeah, the water's gonna move in another direction. Yeah, maybe now it will enrich your day instead of enslaving your day to yesterday and tomorrow. It will enrich your day now. Yeah, by being free from yesterday, tomorrow. And isn't freedom from yesterday and tomorrow inherent? Because it isn't yesterday and tomorrow. It's an inherent freedom, isn't it? I mean, I don't have to, please God, let me be free of next Friday. It's already been granted. Let me be free as last Monday. It's already been granted. Yeah. Wait a minute. I don't need to be free from what's not happening. Yeah. What I'm free is when what's not happening is what's happening. That's what I'm free from. I'm free from what's not happening as being what's happening. So next week is not happening today. Yeah. Last week is not happening today. How I felt seemingly 10 minutes ago isn't the feeling that's going through the system now. Yeah. Yeah. Am I okay? Get back to me in a second. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. But the freedom lies in what's before. It doesn't come after. Why is it that we use that little term from that old yoga mantra? On arriving at the other shore, the distant shore, what they talk about in some Buddhism. After you do a lot of stiff, you're going to finally arrive at the other shore. Yet the big joke is upon arriving on having never left. Do you understand what that means, the wording? Because sometimes I had an argument with some guy that didn't believe that in the statement in recovery, being convinced self manifested in various ways has defeated us, that us and self was different. So I don't know. Maybe no one's hearing it the way I'm hearing it. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you some simple things. Yeah. One of them, if there's a statement being convinced that self manifested in various ways is what has defeated us, which is the defeatee and which is the defeater? And are they different? I would say the us is what's been defeated, and the self was what was the defeater. Yeah. They're not the same freaking thing. Yeah. So when you see from the defeated that you're not the defeater, the defeating of you stops. When you see from the seemingly defeated that you're not the defeater, the defeating suddenly stops. A possibility of being free from the bondage of self becomes available. Not through wrestling with self or vanquishing self or fighting with self or having it give up, by seeing it's not you. That's when the possibility showed up in my life. Like that. Like that. Yeah. I saw I'm not that, and therefore I can be free from it. I mean, I don't know how you could twist that logic. I don't know. I couldn't be free from it, by it, I mean. I couldn't be free from self as self. Yeah. I wanted the same thing. I wanted to be free from self, but as self, it was an incredibly different effect than seeing it wasn't me completely. It's only the way you could show its value was by failing. Yeah. All the attempts to escape self as self, the true value of it was to fail. So maybe, just maybe, I finally stop and see I'm not that. Yeah. I'm not that which wants to get out of that. I'm not that which believes it's in that. I'm not that. I'm not that which believes it's in it and is now out of it. I'm not that. Yeah. I can't give a name to this that I am. You can say I am that I am that I am, but I rather not. I'd rather say I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even feel like 3 letters I am, 2 words is too much. Yeah. I just see I'm not, and then you find everything out. Yeah. You don't have to know it or understand it. You can't understand it. It's incomprehensible. Yeah. Yeah. You can't name it. It has no name. You can't put a name tag on it. It doesn't have a chest. It's not, yeah. I can't send a love letter to it. There's no address. Yeah. I just know what I'm not. Yeah. I can't know what I am. It's impossible. I really would have to be something else for that to occur. Yes or no? Obviously. Yeah. So the knowing, what goes with the knowing? A lot of shit, Knowing. All right. Once I usually think I know something, I'm really not open to meeting it anew, really. I use the word anew pretty good, eh? I'm not. I know it. I see that, and then they're just filed. Yeah. Life becomes nuded by naming it and 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 defining it as a visual form. That's Hinduism 101. Yeah. Name and form is the beginning of the misunderstandings. So yeah, give name and form to what we're not, and see that all named and all form is not us. Yes. Use the same shit that seems to bond us to free us in a way. Yeah. Instead of letting it constantly imply it's you, let it imply it's not you. You're going to have constant reminder when people, oh, wish I could have a constant reminder that would inform me of what I am. You do. The activity of what you're not's going on all day. It's the perfect pointer. Yeah. You never run out of pointing. It's pointing all day. As soon as you wake up, it starts going and throughout the day, even in a sleep. Do you dream of spirit or of bodies in dreaming? In most cases. So are the dreamings of the realm of spirit or are the dreamings of the realm of the mental? It's the mental, yes? We dream in things. We dream in bodies. Even though we don't see our body, we assume we're one when we're seeing all the other bodies while we're dreaming, yes? It's not you dreaming. It's the head dreaming about you. All right, you want to have a lucid dream? You're not the dreamer. There you go. Be as lucid as hell. Super clear. I have an awake dream. Yes, right now. Yeah. We're seemingly awake, and this whole state is dreaming. So this is an awake dream. What? Oh, yeah. So wait a minute. There's a dream that I seem to be asleep, and there's a dream that I'm awake, and I still seem to be asleep. I can't blame it on the night anymore. I didn't know I was awake while dreaming last night because I thought I was asleep, but here you are. Whereas Ramana says we're seemingly in the awake dreaming. Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to be awake to that? If you are awake, wouldn't it be nice to be awake? So in the true fact of life, you are awake, and in the pantomime of life, you're awake to that. That's not bad, eh? That's pretty close, sort of aligned. I know everything is seemingly so, but I'm actually seemingly awake to being awake, where before I was seemingly asleep to being awake. I sort of like the former than the latter, yeah? It allows me to travel later. I don't run into so many things because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing or where I'm going. I can't see shit. I see only the past, like the Course in Miracles would say. You know what happens when it gets dark in a room and you're not familiar with it? You're probably going to bump into somebody. They're going to drop their drink. A resentment is going to be formed. You're going to hit a chair, cut your knee. You trip over something. You can't find the bathroom, so you need a huge amount of relief and you can't go. Yeah? And so what happens? What do? Not realizing the obvious, you run into a guy who says, hey, I have a map. We'll show you where the bathroom is. You don't need any light. Just follow this map. And I'll tell you where all the chairs are in the room. You won't run into them anymore and where the people are. Okay, how much is the map? $100. All right. By the map. Why don't you just fucking put the light switch on? As soon as the lights come on, you see the chair. You see the sign of the bathroom. You see the people. You don't need like, armor, gear, you don't need like shin protectors. All these skillful means are unnecessary if the lights are on. And you're not going to buy a map to the bathroom. You're not. Because you can see the bathroom. Why would I want to buy a map? The certain seemingly not being awake to being awake is sort of like that. You're the light in the dark room. You're looking for someone else to tell you where the bathroom is, which you can guide yourself to, because you are the light. As supposedly Lord Buddha said, be a light unto yourself. One of his last statements, be a light unto yourself. It obviously implies you're light, wouldn't it? Why would he want to fuck with you at the last moment? Be a what light? They didn't even have flashlights then, or fire. No, you're light. Yeah. I'm super hot and sweaty today. That's the experience. Oh, there's no Paul. It doesn't matter. The body's hot and sweaty. And probably the effect of the sweat is doing more harm to other people's nose than it is to me. Yes? Because someone keeps asking me to change my shirt. So obviously, it's producing an effect that's not desirous of the other person. I'm not going to name anyone, but obviously, it's this one over here outside. So, yeah. It's just that you'll be hot. Yeah. Yeah. There'll be hotness, whatever you want to call it in a neutral way. Yeah. And then you'll see the head doesn't have a good opinion of that. All right. Yeah. What can it do? Not much. That's it. Nights are coming. It'll be cool. And then it'll be like it never happened. Yeah. So this to me is like seeing blue is blue and red is red. It's sort of simple. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So if I can, in the recovery meetings, it's totally appropriate to be helpful. But in these meetings, helpful may not be helpful. Yeah. You want to be left with your own devices so that you see they're not your own devices. If you give, if the claw arm goes out and you give it something, yes, it seems to be working, right? You got to stop the shit. Yeah. So what? What happens is the movement will be seen from stillness. You'll see it. And it will stop, and you're still there. And this whole idea, the whole story of the skin taking itself to be the whole snake gets blown out of the water. You recognize a lot. Yeah. The skin is talking as if it's the snake, so it's totally flipped out. But basically, it's flipped out as the skin, not the snake. It ain't the snake. It never was the snake. It's a skin that's going to molt. Yeah. Throw it a bone occasionally. Some cheap Alba Botanica moisturizer. You can buy like a 2-gallon bottle for $4. I don't know what. Throw that in there. So, hey, I'm happy to be here. I hope the mental logic has a rhythm, has a feeling. It seems to be quite logical when you're in it, but it's insane if you're out of it when you see it. There is a logic in non-duality, yeah, and it's seamless. For now 20-something years, it's been tap dancing through Paul Hedderman, and its logic is seamless. I'm not that. Really. Being ourselves reality. Yeah. Being what we're looking for. Being the sort of all the seeking. Yeah. Being the Buddha, the light, the big M mind. Everything's different with that clear. Without that being clear, there may be a lot of clarity about tons of things, but an unclarity about this. It's very, very important to be clear about this, and there may not be much need for clarity about a lot of other things. Yeah. This is what happened with me with the seed assignment. I saw some stuff and then something downloaded and said, there's no point to go anywhere after this. If you don't see this, you're going to look from it. Yeah. If you don't see that which is claiming, you will be the claimed in a way. And even when claiming's going on, you'll believe you're the claimer of it. Yes. So when you see it in broad daylight, the claiming, it will still cast a spell because you're thinking, I'm doing that. I'm the one who's claiming this. You're not. You're not the claimer. There is no, it's mechanical. There's no choice or volition in it. Yeah. Something's going on. It seems to get a lot more attention than other things that are going on. Yeah. And unfortunately, when a lot of attention goes to that, it minimizes whatever else is going on to the point of being like a jealous God that its story is the only thing going on. Yeah. So that, as the Course in Miracles says, this something else that I don't believe we made to be ourselves, but the head has made to be ourselves, is the act of denial. Faith in that is the act of denial of what we are. That's the duality of it. We're negating it. Yeah. Yeah. You're not firm in faith in the something else, and you're not the act of denial of what you are. There's firm in faith in something else, and then there's a denial of what you are. You're not before either of them. You're not the doer of that. You're not the done to by that. Yeah? That's where the freedom lies. You're not going to be the gatekeeper of the shit that appears on the screen. You need to be able to see the constant inferring and reinforcing and transplanting and presupposing this noun in everything. So when you recognize selfing, you're thinking you're doing it. Yeah. Or it's doing something to you. Yeah. That's not seeing. You see the selfing, yet something claims it and it uses it for its own end. Yeah. So you are not firm in faith in denying what you are. I mean, you are not the act of denial of what you are, and you are not the one that's firm in faith in this something else that's been made to be yourself. Hallelujah. You're not one, you're not the other, you're not either. Yeah. You didn't do one, and now you're doing the other. You're neither. Yeah. You finally became clear you were doing that one, and now you're doing the other one. No, none of it. There's no doer there. None. Events happen. Deeds are done. Shit rolls out. Empty phenomena keeps rolling on. Yeah. There's no one pushing the rock, and there's no one that's getting run over by the rock. Yeah. There's just momentum, verbing, on and on and on and on. No source, no cause, no end, just on and on. Dreaming. Yeah. When you step out of it, finally, it'll be like it never happened. When you step into it, it seems like the only thing that's happening. When you step out of it, it'll be like it never happened. When you step into it, it's the only thing that's happening. Yeah. It's insane, isn't it? It's all predicated on not you, but what we are. Yeah. Boom, boom. If what we are is wearing a suit, like a tuxedo, it's a formal. If it's wearing loose clothing, it's a gathering. There's no gathering. There's no formal. It's what's, yes? It's just like when they study light. They get paid to see light as a wave. Light appears as a wave. Then they get paid a giant research grant to see light as a particle. Light appears as a particle. To what? To us, what we are. Yeah? There is no formal. It's based on what you wear. Yeah. There is no party that's great. It's based on that you're there. And the way the you that usually says it's there makes it suck, really. Yeah. It's working, eh? You come to the Sat say, how much do we ask of everyone here? Really? Jesus Christ. We don't. I'm doing exactly what seemingly worked with me. Satsang. I had a lot of period of time. The only thing I really gave my all was drug addiction, but I think they're not that dissimilar to spiritual seeking, really. All the other pursuits, I never really was fully into it other than drug addiction. I mean, I was like the Hanuman of drug addiction. I was fucking Rama's little consort. I went as far as I could. Seriously. Yeah. But you know what? You can't get out of an imaginary place. You can never leave where you're not. It doesn't work. I swear. Now, I just believe, I'm thoroughly convinced in that one example of drug addiction, I don't see that it's insane to apply it to all these other pursuits. Because I see addictions go down all the other ways. There is spiritual addiction, obviously. People who are watching 16 hours of videos, yes, drinking like 12 cups of coffee, wanting to get it, that's addictive nature, isn't it? Obviously. It's not the thing that causes the addiction. It's the mind is looking for it. The small mind is looking to express addiction. That's what it is. Because it doesn't know it's wrong, or it won't admit it. So it just keeps going. It figures if enough didn't do it, more will. Yeah, we have a great statement in recovery. One of the great illusions is, yeah, you have tons of evidence that you're not managerial quality, but you truly believe that if you only manage better, everything would work out. So all the evidence that would allow you to have that day of reckoning for something else to start is constantly put off by this stubbornness. And the same thing with this idea of self wanting to get out of self is a lot of the drives of most everyone's day. Yeah. And if it fails in one way, it doesn't see the principle. It never will. It's never going to see the principle self can't get out of self. You have to see it from somewhere other than self. Self just does not see it. It doesn't. Self sees it as Paul, a long-lasting, independent, separate thing with private thoughts, private feelings. Yeah. So maybe everyone thinks about baseball, but I think about the time my father took me to Yankee Stadium when I was 6 years old. So that verifies they're my thoughts, because no one else is having those thoughts, because they weren't brought to Yankee Stadium. Hey, wait a minute. Tons of kids were brought to Yankee Stadium when they were about 6 years old by their fathers. But besides the point, this whole idea, it's like an algorithm. Selfing is an algorithm that triggers downloads. When I met my first spiritual group at 19 years old, grew up a Catholic in Long Island, had no inclination about meditation, none of this stuff, gurus, devotion, nothing. I heard about this. My friend, one of my best friends, came back, said he got initiated into this group to meditating. So I went that week, got initiated. Yeah. Suddenly now there's a guru that's coming in a few months. I'm in this whole community and I have thousands of thoughts about how I should be like, how the guru should be like, how you should be like, how that person should be like, as if I was a spiritual savant when I had no fucking clue. Yet, and I did not bring about those thoughts. The topic was met, ding, and then shit came in. Unbelievable. It was incredible. To the point, I believed this guy who was the guru, he was presented by a lot of people as the Lord of the universe. And I didn't, in my hearts of heart, I didn't seem to like the Lord of the universe. And in that logic, there was no win in there. Who would leave the Lord of the universe? I mean, that's a no. So I lived the Clash song for 5 years. Should I stay or should I go? The only way I could actually leave was by getting loaded again. I had to become bad to give my permission to just do something else. That's the only way I could do it. Yeah. It was incredible. And the funny thing is, I left and I got run over by a car twice in 3 weeks. So that belief that karma, yeah. See, I fucking left the guru. I got run over by a car. These aren't your ideas. They're ideas that are used to imply a you. Yeah, they're not yours. They're not your thoughts or your feelings. There's feelings that the translation, it's sort of like, you know, you want to know the languages of the world, but you don't have much money, so you buy one that only translates 4 languages. So this is how the head can translate feelings. It mixes up nervousness with excitement. It has no idea what feeling is what. It does, doesn't it? I swear to God. It's like, let's just say angry and desire, basically, stick that way. I desire something, I'm pissed. Okay. Every one of them, when there's the claiming, go into one pile or the other, you know? It's insane, truly insane. So, hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm completely lost and I'm loving it. Yes.
Are you still hot?
Am I hot? Yes. I got cooked today. One of the joys of getting older is heat intolerance, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. It's not like when I was younger, seemingly. Yeah.
Mm.
But hey, so anyone have anything they'd like to say or not say?
Anybody want to raise their hands?
It's working, obviously. Eh? You're coming here. Something must be working.
I like
Not to see my lovely face, you know. The humor is could be a little bit too biting, and obviously the title of the website Zen Bitch Slap is sort of provokes some misogynistic tendencies or whatever. Yes.
New has her hand up.
So I knew. Yes, she is. I used your name. I'm going to try to use your name at least a couple of times with satsang. Watch for it. Watch for it. Yes. All right, Anu.
You're muted, Anu.
Sorry. When you were talking today, you said something which kind of really rang a bell here. You said, "I'm not the gate," or "You are not the gatekeeper for anything that's going on," and that's just like, that's amazing. That just brings like so much relief just thinking about it.
Yeah. You're paying a lot of money for security, and things just come in and out whenever they want. it just how did this thought get in here? You're open source. You're not privately owned. You're a publicly traded anew.
That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, isn't it? The hardest one to try to unlodge is this knee-jerk reaction of believing every doing has to have a doer and every thinking has to have a thinker. I must have opened the door somehow. I must have had something to do with it. No. This is the pauper of relevance, begging relevance out of everything. Yes, just yeah. I had a great relief when I came in AA when I saw a large swath of thoughts that I thought were mine. When I looked at Paul's Ponderosa and I saw all the cattle, they all had my brand on them. But then I realized, these are alcoholic thoughts. And just that brought about a huge amount of relief. And also, an alcoholic thought seen didn't compel an action than when it was called my thoughts. When I saw the same thought as alcoholic, they had a very low batting average of compelling an action than when they were seen as my thought. When they were seen as my thought, either something happened or there was a mental reaction to it, but there was reaction. There was ignition, there was contact, there was, agitation going. When I saw them as alcoholic thoughts, I had space around them. Yeah. What was different? Thoughts, both were thoughts. Yeah. One had a brand on them, my thoughts, one didn't, thoughts. I did a lot better with the free range cows than the cows from my own fucking ranch, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. What does that tell you? I feel it tells us a lot if you're there to see it. Yeah. Yeah. So the action's going to have, see, the mental puppeteer is going to move the puppet. You're going to feel thoughts are real. There's going to be feelings that are going to produce a real effect in the body. The mental state is the puppeteer, and the body's is its puppet, yes? Yet, the reaction of the body is not your reaction. Yeah? So if, let's say I was younger, I got arrested a lot, yeah? And I got in a lot of things came about through those arrests. And so I was sort of paranoid. And then maybe like tons of cocaine increased the paranoia. Who would have thought, yeah? But tons of cocaine usage produced a very vague paranoia, but it was there. And I would witness it when I'd be on long flights and I'd be going to Australia. And when I was walking through customs, my head was agitated, my body was worried. I felt contracted because I thought Interpol had my name and they were waiting to stop me. I hadn't done anything in 12 years, but it didn't matter, yeah? I had the same traumatic reaction as when I was out there, but there was a huge difference. It wasn't me, yeah? It was a reaction, but it wasn't me. That's the huge difference. Yeah. And then over the years, I'm not 2 levels below a coconut as an action figure. I noticed I learned stuff. And I went to Australia quite a lot. And I went on the same 14, 17-hour flights, whatever. And yet I saw the difference when I'd walk through customs every 6 months. Yeah. Things were getting better over the years. Yes. The body and the brain and the mental state was coming out of their trauma. Yeah? So the body was doing better. I was not doing better. I was fine. Yes? Yeah? There is a distinct difference. So reality isn't verified by effect. Yeah? Effects can be from uncaused causes, as the Course in Miracles says. Yeah? You can feel a real effect with a phantom arm. Yeah? You'll feel a huge pain where the brain pictures an arm when the arm's been removed. Yeah? Everything is just happening in the head, so to speak. Yeah? Something that feels real doesn't make it real. Yeah? Feeling it as real doesn't make it real. All right, anyone? Mike? Anu, thank you. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Another hand showing.
And when we're saying this, I don't want you as Kathleen to think they got it and start saying it. It's meant to just land. You don't pick it up. Yes? I'm not talking to you about not being you. I'm not. It's the last person I talk to. Yeah? I'm hopefully talking through you about not being you. Yes? Yeah. So don't have to, oh, I got it. No, 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 no. You know, those are all false flag operations, so to speak. Should go up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we have a hand up by Chris. Have we met you, Chris? I don't recognize you with
Oh,
the hat.
Chris, this is your last question for this year. It's the same rules no matter what Zoom you come to. No.
I wasn't gonna put my hand up because Paul said I wasn't allowed any more questions this
Oh,
year.
you have one more for the rest of the year.
Seriously, one more? Okay, I'll make I'll make this one count. So, are there times when I don't know how to say this. I'm very interested. One thing that you're saying to me that really lands powerfully is the noticing what you're not. Are there times when that is more easy to see, like when you're scared or having a strong emotion or anything like that, that might make it suddenly pop out?
Well, right now is probably the optimum time to see it.
Always?
Always.
Yeah. But
Yes.
are there conditions
that's the sweet spot now. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And then what comes later to the now, maybe anxiety, right? Fear, whatever. Yeah. You'll already be at the now. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am not into spirituality. I'm never was like, wow, this sounds cool. Let me be part of this spiritual community or get enlightenment or anything like that. I'm only here because I feel anxiety all the time. And so, that made me try, hey, people say you meditate, that can help with that. Not really. The only thing that helps with it is meds. And that's fine because unlike, say, alcohol, I function better when my crazy brain is a little bit quieter. And I appreciate what you're saying about what comes first and what comes after. It really makes sense, but it just seems very hard on the one hand, I feel like I'm totally noticing what I'm not all the time, because that thing where you can't be what you're looking at, you can't be what you're seeing. It's obviously,
Yes.
right? And so you can do this kind of, well, then what am I then? But then, like you said, there's no real answer to that. So do you just keep eliminating things?
Well, it's not eliminating things. It eliminates you being a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Things are whatever they are, or not, but it eliminates you being a thing. Yeah.
It seems
It
like
doesn't
there's some,
eliminate it because it's not true that you are a thing anyway, but let's use the word eliminate. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess what I meant by eliminate was like, well, sometimes it's easy to see just even rationally. You can say like,
Yes.
oh, I thought I was this or that, the other thing, but I real like, I think I'm the body, but you know, if I lose my arm, I don't feel like there's any less of me. So I must not really be that. Or it might be like, I used to think I was this such and such a person, but now I don't. So obviously I'm not, that was just a phase I was
Yeah.
in as performing. It's easy to see that kind of thing, but it still feels like there's some solid core that will not let, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, the seeing those things isn't the message really. There's an intimation through seeing things. Yeah, which can't be described. Seeing things is used to intimate more than the seeing of those things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah. So in this case, a little goes a long way, a real long way. So you recognize some things, and then see there's this emphasis of interest. See, this is the dilemma. The sense of self is uh, pulling in a lot of interest and attention, and it's really when there's a sufficient amount of loss of interest in self, then the whole game changes based on the shift of interest. Because see, when you're constantly being emphasized, when you try to underemphasize it, it's just more emphasizing. Yeah. So but it's a point where something occurs without you seeing it occur. And then there's an observation that you're traveling lighter because there had been a shift of interest. You really had nothing to do with it. You're more of an expression of where the interest is than a shifter of interest. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's the interest goes somewhere that to me is now, and and I like to use the term it enriches your day instead of enslaving your day. Yeah.
yeah,
It's the same interest, but the emphasis is different. The emphasis there's been a loss of interest in self and therefore a gaining in interest in whatever. And that's really what accomplishes what you may wish for. Yeah.
I
You
really
just you lose interest in Chris sufficiently, seriously. Uh, that's the traveling lighter, less of interest in Chris. I don't
yeah,
mean not getting haircuts and, wearing the same clothes. No, I'm talking about this obsessive emphasis, self-centeredness. Yes,
yeah.
that that uh, that everything you see and think and feel is uh, compared to how it applies to you, the you that you're not. Yes, the loss of interest in that is the real thing.
I have felt a gradual lessening of interest in that.
Well, there you go. Well, that's hey, see, there's things can happen in a lot of ways. I think the Course in Miracles would be its statement would be like a gradual thing, which is called you and I are dreaming, and we're going to dream ourselves out of the dreaming, and as we do, the dream will get happier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people that come to these Zooms are having that event occur. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. And then others have had a sufficient enough whack, but that whack usually has an expiration date as an extension in time. Yeah,
Mm.
it does. So you need to have you need an understanding of what you're not, so you see it before you recognize yourself as it. Yeah, yeah. That's the public health warning we're doing at the satsangs. We're attempting to share the movements of the mental state that produces this sense of volition where there isn't any, and choice when there isn't any. Yeah,
So
and
there, I'm sorry. So there are moments, and there are many in a day where, I don't know, like just I was eating dinner with my wife and kid, and I'm telling some story about work or something, and for about 3 minutes, it's like, who the hell's saying all this? It's a very strange. Where are these words coming from? I don't know what they're just happening, and I'm kind of listening to them or something. And usually I have a fear reaction to that. That's why I think the interest in Chris has been lessening very gradually, because I usually recoil. I kind of recoil because it feels like, well, there would be nothing left.
a threat. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the skin and the snake talks?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard you tell it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one to capture that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now the attention is the attention is, or the interest is leaving the skin and going back to the snake.
I've been buying all this lotion, and now I understand why.
There you go. So the snake is gonna travel lighter, seeing it's not, seeing that the skin is not the snake, so to speak. Yes. Yeah.
I sure would like to travel lighter.
Well, there you go, bro. Well, you're
All right.
smiling right now.
Well, your words are very sharp, and I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say articulate because that sounds boring, but you come up with these analogies and these little stories. And I've been reading your book. I don't remember the name of it. It's The Unfinished Works or something.
Oh yeah,
And
volume 1 of the unfinished works. Pitch that, yes, yes.
And yeah, it just really cuts right through everything, like relentlessly.
Well, yeah, I think you got to stay on top of this one.
Okay, I'll let someone else talk now.
Because the horse can get out of the barn easy. It's hard to get it back in the. You got to sort of keep it on point,
What do you mean?
with the talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
for you, yeah.
People get in touch with me and they're telling me, I like that you're so direct. What's undirect? How can you? You know what I mean?
How could someone be?
We're just trying to.
There's no stagecraft.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
There's no slow entrance and long pauses, and and you seem to spontaneously come up with answers based on what the individual is asking you. Like, you really pay attention and hear what they're saying. You're not just like reading your own book out loud or something like that.
Yes. Well, yeah.
I just want to thank you. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I think everyone here appreciates you in a way that you might not understand. So I sure do. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Have another. Now you're so nice to me. You get another question.
One more question. Okay, I got a little stay of execution
there. on a later date.
I'll let someone else go.
Nice to see you, bro. And enjoy your wife and kid, eh?
Yeah, they both have COVID right now. I'm the only one in the house. I don't know how I'm managing to not get it, but I don't have it.
Wow.
They're fine. They're totally fine. But
Yeah.
as
Great.
soon as they both masked up and went in the basement and staying away from me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks,
Nice to
Chris.
see you.
We appreciate the question and the participation.
Yes.
And no other hands up.
Well, what time is it now? Well, I fulfilled my contract. 1 hour and 3 minutes.
In
I
case James is watching.
had 3 minutes overtime.
In case James is watching.
Who is?
In
Oh,
case
yeah.
James
Yeah. Yeah.
got his hour.
Well, you know, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we're going back east if anyone's back there. Oh yeah, Kathleen and Bill. Yeah, I bit the bullet and bought the ticket, so we're gonna be down in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. That's not that far. We're gonna be down there Monday night, 27th of June. So we can get together earlier, Bill and stuff. Yeah, we'll meet some of my friends there. Yeah, and then we're gonna be in Dover, New Jersey, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At this big rehab, but it's not all. The first night's supposed to be just for the clients, but anyone can come in. And then Saturday in the day we'll be in New York City, hopefully, down in the East Village near 12th, I think, 12th and 4th Avenue, I think, around there. And then Monday we'll go to Doylestown. Tuesday we'll be in Great Barrington up in Massachusetts. And then go home on Thursday. So I can't make Provincetown to see Jack because it'll be crazy there. And yeah, so that's if you're around the East Coast, we'll be around. We'll put it up on the website soon. And yeah, it should be cool. I'm not looking forward to it, but you know.
Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts, so
Oh yeah, where?
Yeah.
in Maynard actually,
Where's
which
that?
no one knows where that is. It's right next to Sudbury. It's about 20
Uh,
miles west of Boston.
Only 20 miles? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
gonna,
we'll be in Great Barrington and stuff. So yeah.
yeah, and I was just gonna say, if I moved into my house, I'm moving to Monterey, Massachusetts, then Jack can come over our way.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
please.
and Chris, if he wants to.
Yeah, we'll talk everything. Yeah, we'll all get together. So hey, anyone? No? Oh, well, let me say goodbye to everyone then. Mike, thank you for all the service. And then we'll see you Saturday, I hope. We got Kerry. We
Who woke
got
up?
the lovely Star Trek twins. Yes. Yeah. I'd say in this situation, Bill is Captain Kirk and Kathleen is the feminine Q. Right? The Godhead. Yes, there we go. Yes. We got Stuart from Down Under. Always nice to see you, Stuart. Yes. Anu. There she is. Kerry, as always. David, we'll be coming hopefully to Australia again. The beginning of next year, probably. Hopefully. So we'll run into each other. Yeah.
You're going to come to Melbourne, Paul.
Yeah,
Eltham,
we'll
I live
come
in
to
an old,
Melbourne. We'll
I
come to
live in an old
Melbourne.
hippie
We'll
com-
come near Byron Bay and stuff. Yeah.
I live in an old hippie commune suburb that was formed by hippies, so you'd love it around here. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, we'll stay in touch, but hopefully we'll do it this year. All right. We
Good on
got
you. Thanks, Paul.
we got Jay. We got Jim. We got Chris. We got Clifford in Chiang Mai. One of my. I spent a lot of time in Chiang Mai. We got Robert French. our favorite Kiwi. We got John R., who could be a little bit of feisty ASEAN. Yes. He's going to get a physical Zen bitch slap when I see him, when I come over there. Get ready, JR. We got Nina. Nina. Yeah. We got to come down to LA area soon. We got Shailene. Nice to see you there. How are you?
Yeah,
All
I've
right.
been doing good. I've been missing your meetings, so it's been really nice to be on here. I listen to some of them on YouTube sometimes, but
Oh,
yeah,
great. Well,
yeah,
nice
thank
to
you,
see
John.
you again.
Yeah, you
Yes.
too. You too.
We got Stefan on having never left. Ah, and we have Sanda. Sanda. She's our connection to the motherland. She's up in Anish. She's up in Tiruvannamalai. Yes, Sanda. So someday we'll get together, hopefully. And then there's Angie. Angie from Toronto. I think south of Toronto, right? Yes. Yeah. Somewhere. Undisclosed location. Yeah. We got Anish. Nice to see you, Anish, again. We got Michelle. There she is. Hello, Michelle. We got Linda. We got Susan K, my latte lady. Very nice. And let's see who else we got here today. I think that's it. Hey, listen. Have a nice night. It was a pleasure to sit with
Love you,
everybody.
Paul.
See you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See
Bye.
ya.
Is Nina still here? No, she